When I came into City, I hoped to stay here for a long time.
It's a new chance to be better as a player and to win some titles with a team who has a lot of quality players.
It's going to be a debut for Kevin De Bruyne, their record signing.
Everybody knows that I'm new in the team and that I will need some time to adapt.
I never expected me to be here for 10 years. I wouldn't change it.
De Bruyne! Excellent finish from the Manchester City man for his first Premier League goal.
De Bruyne.
It's still De Bruyne!
Kevin De Bruyne! That's a smashing goal!
And his left foot, De Bruyne! Oh, what a goal!
I would say I'm still a kind of old school football guy. I play on creativity, on passion.
He sees things that other players don't see, but especially he tries things that other players wouldn't dare to try.
Feasting off the beautiful service of Kevin De Bruyne.
I don't even need to see the ball because I know exactly where the ball's going to come.
This is what you see time and time again from Kevin De Bruyne.
When you come to passing, no one comes near him.
He's one of those players that every single football supporter would want him in their team.
During how many years and how many games, that makes him unique.
The Manchester City fans sing his name, and this is the reason why. Kevin De Bruyne! Wolverhampton 1, Kevin De Bruyne 4.
I helped my team achieve things that never been done before, especially not in the Premier League.
100! Records broken and broken again! In goes De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne!
That's what it is.
He's been the best player in the Premier League since it's signed for Manchester City.
For me, he's the best player in the history of the club, so the only thing that we can say to him is thank you and wish him all the best.
Kevin De Bruyne is going to go down as an all-time great.
We didn't go. Now we have it.
I've come here. I've got 3 kids now, all born in Manchester. It's my home.
The impact of some players transcend even what you have done on the pitch. It's part of the family of this club. There's no doubt he's one of the greatest, for sure.
The UEFA Champions League will begin. King Kev is back at the Etihad.
Good evening, the Champions League is back and Matchday Live will be with you every step of the way as Man City look to make a winning start on the road to Budapest. Now, our boys in blue will be arriving at the Etihad ahead of their game against Italian champions Napoli, and I can reveal the boy from Napoli, Gianluigi Donnarumma, will make his Man City Champions League debut. There's the shirts, the teams are ready. Lobotka, could he be a problem? There he is, return of the king, Kevin De Bruyne. And a very familiar foe, Rasmus Haaland. Di Lorenzo, we saw him speak to the press yesterday. McTominay, he has been a shining light for Napoli in the past year. Now, here is the team news for you. As I said previously, starting in goal, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Right back, after his dominant display at the weekend, Kusanov in the middle, Diaz starts, as well as Josko Vardio. How good has he been? Left back, we've got Nico O'Reilly. I've been watching that nutmeg on repeat since it happened. And of course, our Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri. Captain today, Mr. Bernardo Silva. Love to see him in the team. And one of our summer signings, Tijani Reinders. He has been absolutely mustard. Foden starts after scoring at the weekend, as well as Jemmy Doku. That jinky little body feint, whew, had me purring. And of course, up front, Erling Haaland. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Matchday Live. We've got an absolute unbelievable show planned for you today. But first, I'm going to introduce my stellar guests. We've got Steph Houghton and Shaun. Steph, I'm going to start with you. How you been?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. Shaun, what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
I've had a nice little summer, good little pre-season, and back into things. But always good to be back, back on the show and around Steph as well to see my old skipper. It's good. Always good.
Right, Napoli versus Man City, to me, is a special Champions League game. Obviously, it was Man City's first game in the Champions League. But I've got a question for you, and for you guys at home. What happened the last time we faced Napoli in the Champions League?
I would say we won.
Yeah, certain legend scored.
Here we go, it's on screen now.
Good little break, this.
Ooh, this is a very good break. What was the context? What's going to happen here right now?
The GOAT scores, doesn't he?
He does.
Not the other GOAT. Not
the other
team,
GOAT.
yeah.
The other GOAT.
Sergio Aguero becomes Man City's all-time record goal scorer. I mean, that was like trademark Aguero, right? Picks it up and just
what a
balance.
Player. Yeah. I think when in positions like that, when you've got Aguero running on goal, I think there's only one outcome, and it was generally that whenever he pulled on a City shirt. And I think to do that away at Napoli, and obviously Sané, what a great run. He was so good at running with the ball. He's so quick and just really direct. But Aguero obviously just did what he did best, which is put in the back of the net.
Shaun, you as a striker, would you have taken a few more touches, or was that perfect? Can't get better than that.
Well, I think he's hit it from the perfect distance, right in the corner. You can't really complain about that. The keeper has no chance. I mean, you talk about a world-class centre forward there with a quality finish. It was beautiful to see.
Right, let's go from one striker to another. Let's talk about the team. Erling Haaland, he is a goal away from a pretty big milestone, 50 Champions League goals in 49 games. The current record is Ruud van Nistelrooy, who did it in 62. Where do we start on him?
Yeah, where do we start with this? I mean, this is phenomenal. I mean, to have this amount of goals at his age, he's a phenomenal striker. And, normally as a centre forward, you win 3 or 4 chances in a game. I mean, he needs a chance and a half. Just one chance and a half. And he'll walk off the field having scored a goal. And I mean, this is phenomenal. I back him to score tonight because he doesn't need a lot of chances. His decision-making when it comes to going at goalkeepers, whether the ball's bouncing, rolling, how it's rolling away from him, rolling to him. His decision-making is absolutely brilliant. And then his technique to actually finish it, similar to what we just saw Sergio Aguero do, just cushion it in the corner. Like, when I say cushion it, it's a punch into the corner, leaves the goalkeeper with no chance. And he's just got some phenomenal goals. So I'm really excited and looking forward to him making that 50 tonight.
How hard is it to score a goal like that? Like the one we saw at the weekend, I feel like it's almost bread and butter for Haaland. He takes it on and just rolls it into the corner, but it's not that simple, is it?
No, it's not. The most difficult chances are the ones that you do have time to think. The ones that are just instinctive is stuff you train and you do a dozen. This run is perfect, and really, that's probably the only finish he can do there. The keeper comes out, nice little footwork, holding off, slides him there. Keeper comes out.
That nudge as well, Shaun, against Shaw, I think it just gives him a chance to have that little bit more time to dink it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was brilliant play there. He holds his run. This here is difficult because he's got time. He knows he's in. He's got time to think, well, do I shoot early? Do I shoot with my right foot? Do I put it on my left foot? He puts it on his left. It opens up the goal. So he's got a lot of time to think, what can he do? And this is where if you're not calm in your mind, you can make the wrong decision. And he is ultra calm and cool in these situations.
Steph, watching Haaland go down like that, we see him, he turns the burners on. I feel a lot of people sort of overlook how quick he is with the ball. Is there ever any doubt, really? Is it?
Have you seen how long his legs are? No wonder he's that quick. I mean, I feel as though, building up to the derby on Sunday, I feel as though he had something where he wanted to prove something, because obviously we got beat against Brighton and you're coming in and you have to try and kind of perform under that pressure, and I feel as though he's took on this leadership role. And I think for me, Haaland in that first minute against United, you're thinking he's definitely up for this and you have to give him the chances. But I think like what Shaun said, when you're in them positions, you don't want anybody else in a City top other than him at this moment in time. And I think when he's running through one goal like that as a defender, it's so hard to defend against, and even if you're recovering, you can't catch him because he's so big and he's so strong. So he was top class on Sunday, so hopefully he does get that achievement tonight. But to play 50 games already in Champions League football at this club is crazy. That's a crazy stat.
It is.
He got 7 goals last week. I mean, that's phenomenal. I know some people that didn't even get that at school. The play times weren't scoring 7 goals all week, but I'm not going to drop any names. Right, Gianluigi Donnarumma, starting today, made his debut last week. Steph, what's it like to have a goalkeeper of, one, that stature, but also of that pedigree behind you as a centre-back, as a defender?
I think it just fills you full of confidence, if I'm being honest, and I think not only just his size and how big he is and how physical he is, but obviously what he's done already in his career at the age of 26 is scary. I honestly didn't think he was that young, because you just feel as though he's been around forever, and he's played in big games, PSG last season, winning the Champions League, and I think when you have players like that with that experience, when you're as part of a team, when you have someone that in that moments you need them to step up, I think it's been a great signing for City, if I'm being honest. He really showed his kind of worth on Sunday in just one game, and I think we're probably going to speak about James Trafford, what's going to happen now, but he's going to be learning off one of the best keepers in the world, and I think when it comes to games like this, the first game in the Champions League, you need your big players to step up, and he's already going to become a big player for City this season.
You said that, and it feels like he's been around for ages. 10 years, he made his debut at 16.
Yeah.
Like,
that just shows, though, like, his
yeah.
potential was always there. And he's turned into probably the best keeper in the world.
Yeah, what's really exciting is we've got the best finisher in the world, and I believe the best shot-stopping goalkeeper in the world. So, I mean, the two of them, you know, as I see Haaland getting off, Erling Haaland getting off the coach, and I think of those two, and I think in training, you know, him being challenged, he has to really put balls in the corner. Because you got this top goalkeeper that stops everything at shot stopping. So I think the two of them will even bring out better quality, you know, in training, and bring out better quality in each other.
I think that's a really interesting point, because I always think training-wise you compete with your position, and it's like, oh, when you have another top player in your position, that pushes you on. But I never really thought about it as in like your opposite number almost, because it's every day. Like you've got to do this.
I think one of the things as well is Haaland would have played against him in a game against PSG and would know what he's like and thought, I mean, look at this, that's world class. Yeah. This is not a regular save. That is a world class save. And he would have thought, I've scored against him or I've not scored against him. He's made some brilliant saves. And they'll probably have a little joke about a game and when he made a save or when he would have scored. But I know Haaland will be thinking, right, in training, I want to continue to score. If I'm scoring against him, it'll be easier in the game. And he'll be thinking, if I'm stopping Erling Haaland on these shots in training, then he's the best finisher in the world, then he's obviously improving as well. So I just think it's a phenomenal place. Training must be absolutely phenomenal to have these quality players there.
Every day.
Every day,
battle. Steph, he had relatively little to do in that game, but when we saw it then, when called upon, made an unbelievable save. Just like how superhuman is that almost, to keep your focus and be ready to be called into action, not just, I just need to catch that or come up for a corner, like to pull off essentially a game-changing save on the click of a fingers.
And that's why he's one of the best. I think when you're part of a team that keeps so much possession, is creating other chances up the other end of the pitch, I think you need your keeper to be switched on. And I think not only just his saves, but even from corners, I think Manchester United at times were a bit of a threat from the corners. They've got tall players, they've got physical players, but there's nothing better than like your keeper coming across the top of your head and just punching away. And I think now you can just relax. But I think what Shaun's saying in terms of football's won in both boxes, and I think there's no kind of hiding from the fact that City have probably conceded more goals than that we wanted to over the last couple of seasons, especially last season. And if you've got a keeper like him that when we're winning 3-0 against Manchester United and comes up and produces a save like that, against the better teams, it could actually be the difference maker, that save. It could actually stop the momentum from the opposition. And I think everybody probably underestimate a role of a goalkeeper, but when they're behind you and they're communicating and they're making right decisions, that confidence spreads throughout the team.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is thinking back to the Derby game. It was one ball that's coming to the box, and he's punched it, and I almost felt like he punched it to the halfway line, and I was just like, well, that's a proper punch and clearance, you know. And also that save, because not really having a lot to do, but then that ball comes around the defender, and then he gets down and gets a hand to that. I mean, that was an
the reaction of everybody as well is just like the team and stuff. And I think like it is as good as a goal. I think like when you're in that moment in a Manchester derby, when you're playing against your rivals and they're obviously already suffering, you want them to suffer more. Like that is just the best feeling. And yeah, I'm so excited to see how he does tonight, because obviously this is probably another step up in terms of intensity and the players that we're going to play against.
Yeah.
Right, I want to move on to Jeremy Doku now. Andy Morrison said that was the best performance he's seen from Jeremy in a City shirt. I think he was absolutely electric. I mean, here he is for the goal.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Just put the burners on before, didn't he? Yeah.
The body feint, ridiculous. And then I can't really comprehend how he's managed to pick Foden out on the fall whilst he's falling. It's just sort of like,
but
this hasn't come off, and then.
Yeah, I mean, that's how quick the brain is, you know. It's come back to him, and he's half-volleyed it back to Foden. This body strength, absolutely brilliant. What I like about the first clip was the fact that he was in the pocket, and it was normally Doku's a winger, and we get excited because one-on-one he takes players on. But just to see him in the pocket and to see what he did being in that pocket, how he shifted and made their space. It'll be interesting to see whether in some games, whether there's a game tonight or whether other games in the future, he encourages them to go inside in the pocket, because we normally see Doku out wide, receiving it, taking players on. But the first thing I thought was, ooh, he looks kind of good in that little pocket there.
And he said it was the best performance he's seen from an attack and defence standpoint. Steph, how important is it for a winger to come back and help you guys out when you're playing at the back?
Massively, to be honest, and that was like a thing for me, as when you're part of a team that everybody has to do their job defensively, and if we do that and we do that going forward, then it gives them guys, the likes of Doku, Erling, Phil, a chance to go and express themselves, because they've got a little bit of a more solid foundation to go and attack even more. But I do think he was excellent on Sunday. I think in terms of that all-round performance, I think maturity, he looked a bit more mature in his decision makings. I think sometimes, because he's a winger that likes to dribble, I think sometimes he gets too excited to do that because that's his strength, and I understand it. But even like that decision making of maybe going, actually, I'm going to roam a little bit in midfield here and try and see what Manchester United did, and they couldn't pick him up. And I think when he's running at your full pelt and he's doing them tricks, I mean, the ball doesn't move. He's literally just flicking his leg in the air.
Right?
But he's got such a low centre of gravity that you can't mark him. His agility is just scary, and I think you don't actually realise how strong he is when he gets that body contact, and that the role for Erling's goal where he chips it over the keeper. I think that's just strength. As a defender, you can't get too tight because he just rolls you straight away. Yeah,
it'll be people that look at that clip and think, well, the defender's wrong, he's not strong enough, and they'll find, but he's done well to be in that position, but two, the strength, as Steph says, his strength to hold off the player and then just cushion that ball through and say, go and I'll do what you do, is really good bit of work from him.
He looked unbelievable. Right, let's head down pitch side where Ali Mann is with Andy Morrison and Michael Brown.
Yeah, welcome to pitch side, where I'm joined by not just one but two of my regular co-commentators. Andy's doing tonight. Michael is doing Sunday at Arsenal. I'm giving him the night off, and what does he do? He works for the BBC, but there you go. Andy, I'll start with you because you're alongside me. An unchanged City lineup. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it speaks testament about the performance at the weekend, doesn't it? I mean, I thought it was a great performance all round, and it doesn't happen often, does it? So, I think they should take great belief in that and go out and prove themselves again tonight.
Were you surprised, Michael, at that?
We try and second-guess Pep Guardiola every single week. I think what it is we're trying to find some consistency at this moment in time with a new team, a new setup, coaching staff, everything about it. So we're looking for a formula. We found one, didn't we, against Manchester United, and some people will be saying, can you do that? But because of Arsenal coming so quickly, I think you've got to win the game in front of you, and it's all about this here and now at this moment in time, and we need another top performance.
Well, talking of here and now and top performances, let's give you the Napoli lineup. And let's be honest about it, the other 10 names are all irrelevant. You're only interested in one name, but I'll give you the other 10. Milinkovic, Savic, Buongiorno, McTominay, some bloke I've never heard of, Haaland, Politano, Di Lorenzo, Goalkeeper, Spinazzola, Lobotka and Anguissa. Yeah, all right, let's talk about him. He's back. It's got to be weird, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's probably surreal for him after spending, the largest part of his career, here, and probably an emotional night for him, but he's a professional, And I know I know how their mindset is, and he'll want to come here and show and say, I should have still been here, you know, because that's the very, very best think that way. But it'll be magical to see him and the reception he'll receive from the fans.
Now, the guy to my left not only played against City not long after leaving them, but scored against City not long after leaving them. What was it like? How did it feel?
It's very strange, actually, and I got a phone call off Nick Summerby. Mike Summerby's obviously son who played here with us, and said, whatever you do, you don't celebrate. But when it happens and when you score, you don't know what to think and where to go and where to jump. But what Kevin will be here today will be just looking to have a top performance. I don't think he'll feel like he needs to prove to anybody. He'll want to prove in that dressing room that he can get his side 3 points. He's come across very much of a top guy straight away. The players love him. They were surprised by he has that smile, that bit of banter, that little bit of fun with them, but also drives for success. So it'd be great to see him. We obviously want him to do well and play as good as he possibly can with obviously a Manchester City win. But he's got some great support in the middle there. Lobotka and Griso, who used to be at Fulham, as well as a great little treble for him to be able to flex around. McTominay will step in as well. And they've got some interesting players. They lost obviously Lukaku at the start of the season, which was a big blow for them, but they've set really good standards and they're on the stride with some great wins so far.
Do you think Kevin can supply information from spending so long with Pep? Is he a help to Antonio Conte in that respect? Well,
it's basically it's a new set of players. There's so many new faces in there and different ideas. I saw so many different ways of playing at the weekend. I saw City doing things differently. The percentage in the possession, which then allows Haaland the space in behind. That last 20 minutes, you thought Haaland was going to get in almost every turnover of possession. So maybe slightly different to when he was here, but we'll do our own thing. I do expect us to have more of the ball than them tonight. They have got good legs in midfield. They have got threats all over. But no, it's about us tonight.
A couple of United players, or ex-United players, actually one of them still is a United player, McTominay and Haaland. They'll be just as keen, won't they, as Kevin De Bruyne?
I think you know the answer, don't you? McTominay, for whoever's not really watched him, has surprised everybody. He's dominating games, he's striving into the box, timing of runs, they play him in a left position, they play him as a 10. He's creating, he's getting shots away, he's trying overhead kicks, and they're talking about Ballon d'Or. This is a player who's not really wanted at Manchester United. And then Haaland, he feels like obviously he wants something to prove. He was sort of cast away at Manchester United and now coming here. This is a player who will want to prove. He's different to the other two now. They're already at one who's done it for so long, with McTominay at the top of the game, but then there's a player now who will really want to show everybody. So a really interesting night. I think it's got so many little twists and turns. I think it's a really exciting game to open up again the Champions League. What a night.
Just a quick thought with you, Andy. I mean, your accent doesn't give it away, but everybody nicknames you Jockey because you are essentially a Scotsman. What do you make of McTominay? And I know the Gilmores were very hoping to see their son. I know he's on the bench tonight. There's a lot of people who have got a lot of hopes about those two.
I've been so impressed with McTominay, and they're talking about the system that United played at the weekend with a 2 that does get exposed and probably lacking legs. And I think dynamic sprints and ground covered. I think he was in the top 10% of European players last year. And as Michael's just alluded to, I watched 2 or 3 games over the last couple of days, and arriving in the box on almost every occasion, running beyond in the same way that Reinders does for us, running beyond the front 2, arriving in the box and just box to box, and the energy. And it looks like a weight's been lifted off his shoulders. And as Michael said, a Ballon d'Or nominee and Player of the Year last year, not just like in his team, in the actual league. It's a phenomenal achievement. And he's going to come here tonight. He'll be back at home in Manchester. He'll want a big point to prove.
Well, the last question has to be the usual one, which is what's your gut feeling saying about what's going to happen this evening?
I expect goals, I really do. Obviously, a disciplined Napoli side, and you take any win at this moment to get on the board in the Champions League. We look at last season where we felt like we could recover, and we always felt, because we're looking and we sort of go, well, it's not to worry that if you start slow. We've got all those games, and now with this new format, you realise it can really be difficult. So any win I'd take, and I would expect a 3-1 Manchester City. I've gone for it, see. I've really put. I don't normally do that, but yeah. I'd take 1-0. You know, it's so important to get 3 on the board.
Andy?
I think it's consistency we need. You know, we'll go back to Juventus and then Al Hilal. We'll go back to Wolves and then we go to Spurs. We go Saturday. What are we going to get tonight? And I think it's really important to the manager that comes away tonight knowing that they can put performances together one after the other. Really good on Saturday. Can we do it again tonight? I'm going for a 3-1. Can I go the same as Michael?
Of course you can.
I fancy a 3-1 victory tonight, but I do think there will be goals. Do you know, it could be 4-2. I'm not going to go 3-2, but I'll stick with 3-1. But I do think there's going to be a lot of action tonight. OK, there you go. The thoughts of tonight's co-commentator and Sunday's co-commentator. And they've both gone for 3-1. Back to you.
Thank you very much, chaps. Right, let's hear from Napoli boss Antonio Conte and see what he said during his presser.
It's incredible this. It's incredible this, and because, but I think is the atmosphere of Manchester, because with Sir Alex Ferguson, he was for a long time in Manchester United. Now Pep to stay for 10 years in the same club is incredible. It means that there is a great synergy, great energy between him and the club and the players, because to stay 10 years is very, very, very difficult, because you have every season to find a new energy, new energy, and to put the energy with the old players, with the new players. But we are talking about, in my opinion, the best coach in the world. Yes.
In his opinion, Pep Guardiola, the best coach in the world. I mean, who am I to argue with Antonio Conte, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's certainly one of those coaches that are up there. You know, I think of Ancelotti will be one of those that'll be up there in that bracket. But again, he's seen it, done it as a manager, and he's a winner, and he'll want to win. He'll want to win tonight, and so he'll employ his team to go out there and put on a good performance and try to, you know, go away from this game with a great result.
You said that he's a winner, and he is indeed. Obviously won at Chelsea, won his first Premier League title in his first season. I mean, let's look at the team. They're no slouches. I'm going to start with a familiar foe, Rasmus Haaland, scored in his debut against Fiorentina at the weekend. Could he be a problem for City, Steph?
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think that was what Manchester United bought him was for his potential. He was never going to be ready-made going into the club, and obviously the way that United have performed over the last few seasons hasn't been at the level that they've expected, and maybe that this might be a good move for him in the sense of just to get out of there and to try something new, be around players like McTominay, who's full of confidence. You've got De Bruyne in there. You've got Billy Gilmore, that's played in the Premier League, now moved to Serie A, and I just feel as though he has potential to be a handful tonight. I think he's obviously a big lad, he's physical, and he'll be a lot more confident than he was probably previously playing against us last season. So I think for me, it's all about if you have service, and Shaun will know more than me as a striker. It's about if you're getting them balls and you're being able to either hold them up or run onto them, which we've seen Erling Haaland do a lot on Sunday. So hopefully he has a bit of a quiet night, but I think in terms of football themselves, to be given an extra chance to go and actually prove yourself, he seems to be enjoying himself a lot more than he was last season.
You said confidence. As a striker, Shaun, how important is confidence as part of your game?
Oh, it's very important. And how you maintain your confidence is by every day doing little things consistently. So whether that's you're receiving the ball and you're turning because that's a part of your game, or whether that's receiving the ball and setting it back, or whether that's being around the goal and it's consistently finishing. I'm intrigued to really see how he does, because, again, when I watched him at United, the potential of him, and you think he's quick, he's strong, but he seemed to make the wrong decision at the vital time. And I'm wondering if someone like De Bruyne now and again would just drop little things in his ear to say, perhaps when you get in that situation, try this or think of this, which may help him score more goals. But I think he's off, having scored a goal, he's off and running. But I think he'll be delighted, because if I'm him and I've got Kevin De Bruyne in my team, I just see him there just now, but I'll be my arm around. So, Kevin, how things? And he'll be my best mate, because I'm like, he will be servicing me, because I'm sure he would have seen Kevin you know, provide chances for every player at City, and he must be thinking, yes, finally, I've got a player who I know can deliver service.
What I'm thinking is, De Bruyne, we know, absolute wand of feet, both. He's going to be delivering pin-perfect balls. You were talking about too much time can be bad for a striker.
Yeah.
Will that help? The ball comes straight in, 1 or 2 touches, get it away, start getting goals, the confidence goes up, and almost, I can trust who's behind me. I know what my job is. Because we know he can score goals. He did it at Atalanta.
Yes.
I mean, I don't need to say how important it is, but De Bruyne being behind, that's...
It is. And the great thing is, as we all know, De Bruyne in a wide position is great as any winger. De Bruyne in a central position is as great as any midfielder it centrally. So if I'm him, and he must be thinking, I've just got to know where the space is because De Bruyne is going to deliver it. And we've seen time and time, years and years, where De Bruyne in a wide position would just have a touch and put it behind the defence. And once De Bruyne communicates that to him, I'm sure he has done, he'll be then knowing, just get on his bike, move, be ready for that. When it's deeper, knowing that De Bruyne is going to deliver that. And getting those chances, getting them frequent and often, and then him putting them away, his confidence will go up. He'll have belief, and his eyes will light up. He'll just think, De Bruyne's on the ball, I'm making my move. So I'm really intrigued to see how he gets on throughout the season, but hopefully he has a quiet one this evening.
Steph, you listed off a few of the former Premier League players who are at Napoli at the moment. I want to talk about Scott McTominay, obviously moved over from United. He had an unbelievable season last year. And I want to be like, he's now loved. At Napoli, it feels like he's really loved. Like, they've really taken him on. I don't want to say he's on par with Maradona, but I've seen people saying it's there. People like him, like he's on par with that sort of like fanaticism. That's how much they like him. How important is it to be loved as a footballer?
I think everyone, not just in sport, in any walk of life, I think you want to feel valued, you want to feel as though somebody cares and wants you to do well, and I think that's definitely what McTominay has got in Napoli. I think he showed glimpses of what he could be at Manchester United, but I think obviously the way that the club is and what all the noise around him, I think it's hard to go and perform under that pressure and obviously the expectation. So I think the best thing he could do was to go to Napoli and to play in a way where he's very much an important part of how they play and how Antonio Conte plays with his team. And I think last year we just went from strength to strength to be... Did we ever think that Scott McTominay would ever be talked about as a Ballon d'Or winner? Like, probably not. As a football fan and someone that watches football, you didn't. But that just shows when you have that little bit of love, that little bit of support, good coaching, but also... as a player, you've got to go and do it, and he's performed at the highest, and with the goals and the assists, and I mean, to even be in that same sense of being compared to Maradona and how Napoli fans adore him is pretty crazy, but testament to him, because I think football is all about resilience and being able to prove people wrong, and he certainly has done that in a different league, and now he's very much one of their most important players.
That midfield, Anguissa, Lobotka, McTominay, and now De Bruyne in as well. I mean, De Bruyne is kind of their top goal scorer.
That's tidy. That's a tidy midfielder because, as we say, Anguissa is neat and tidy on the ball. Little 1-2s, little round the corners, receiving it, going out the other side. He's really neat and tidy. So, and you got De Bruyne, who's just like puts all the sprinkles to that whole midfield. So, again, what's interesting is seeing De Bruyne play in the role he plays, and then you really got Rodri. So you got two world-class players, you know, knowing each other from training and playing with each other, like who wins that battle and how they win that battle, because that's not a battle of just technical skill, that's intelligence and recognizing space. So that's for me, that's a really interesting one to see how one gets over the other. But that midfield, I think they got a really good midfield in Napoli as well.
It's strange. Obviously, we know De Bruyne is gone. We've seen him in another shirt. But to see him back at the Etihad so soon, it's a bit of a... It's tough. Obviously, you want to see him do well. He was amazing here, his time here. But to see him back so soon is sort of like, I don't know, like, I don't love it.
It's a bit emotional, isn't it? I think it is a bit.
I
think it is a bit too soon, if I'm being honest. I don't think I'm ready to see him in a different shirt at the Etihad Stadium. But I think today, it will be probably a lot more about him. I think the City fans are one of the best in the world, and they'll give him the reception that he deserves, like they did when he left. But I think what you were saying, Shaun, it's all right. I think you play against these players, but the hardest thing is to actually stop that player. Like, how do you stop Rodri from performing? How do you stop Kevin De Bruyne from performing? No matter if you play against each other however many times in training, it's still so hard to do. I think even if you play against your old team, knowing what Pep likes to do, like, it's still, you have to put that action plan into action, essentially, and it's so hard. So it's going to be such an intriguing game, and I'm sure we'll see one of Kevin De Bruyne's unbelievable passes at some point.
I'm just thinking, like, we think about the emotions. We've got emotions because seeing him and, like, saying it's still early, it's still raw, like him in a different shirt. But him having to control those emotions, because whenever I played against, one of my former teams, like, to be able to control that takes a huge amount. And we're seeing him at the highest level be able to control the emotions and perform, all the City players for that matter. So it's interesting to see, like, him essentially coming back home, and how he will control his emotions to still go out there and perform. And I'm sure, he's a top professional, and I'm sure he'll do that.
Shaun, do you think you'll have a mentality to try and prove that he's still good enough for the City team?
I think that's his mentality.
I do as well. Knowing, like, speaking to him and, like, being around him, I think it's just always about, like, okay, like, proving people wrong, still playing at that high standard. So even though it will be emotional, I think he probably has a little bit of extra incentive to be like, okay, I'm still the same KDB that I've been here for the last 10 years, and I can still play at this level.
Right.
Absolutely.
To celebrate the return of King Kev, I've got 5 of his best Champions League goals for Man City. And we're going to blind rank them.
Only 5. You've done well to get them into 5.
Hey, the producers have been hard at work. There's been a lot of arguments in the office, but we shall have a look at them. And then before we go to the next one, I'm going to need you to rank it 1 through 5.
Right.
Okay? Right. Let's have a look at the first goal. This is against Leipzig. I mean, it's treble season. It's De Bruyne. He's captain. It's lovely. It's hard not to get carried away. It's hard not to get carried away.
That's shift.
I mean, that feels like...
He's scored so many great goals.
1 obviously being the best, yeah.
So, and you obviously don't know what goal's coming next.
Right.
I think he scored better ones than that, and
yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I know, look, that's top corner, but he scored better than that. Would you say 3?
And also, you've got to think about occasion, stadium, who you're playing against.
Yeah.
Shall we go 4?
Yeah.
4? Okay, I like that a lot. Right.
Yeah, we know this player. We know this players.
I'm not going to give you the best one first of all. I don't know. It could be anywhere.
Maybe.
Right. Let's roll into number 2. Here we go. Shakhtar. Side net. I mean, did the goalkeeper move?
Did he move? He went to the chip shop, I think. he went
you enjoyed that one, didn't you?
I enjoyed it. Look.
No backlift whatsoever.
So this is similar to the last one, right?
Do you want the keeper to dive there as a defender?
I think we can be safe and say 3 or 5. What do you think?
3 or 5?
3.
You see, because he scores every goal is like beautiful from him.
It is poetry.
He don't get tap-ins.
I think he has to hit that quicker. That's why I'm giving it a 3. I think he had more chat.
It's just on the 1 foot.
We'll say 3.
Yeah.
3. Okay, so we've got 4 or 3. I feel like I can see a little bit of tactics.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real.
Try
Right.
to be logical.
The
3rd goal. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, I'm going to leave this to you, Steph.
I'm all about free kick.
Because I never take a free kick.
That's like an individual skill that you have to practice a lot.
I think it's 1 or 2 because keeper gets a finger to it. I would say probably 2 because 2, I never took a free kick.
And also the technique, Shaun.
Yeah, they're up and down.
Not many people can do that technique. And
free kick, I always feel like if I was a goalkeeper and someone scored a free kick against me...
That's what I mean, Barcelona
enough,
as well.
Yeah,
so 2.
I
don't want to rush across because Steph's been able to do that, you see. I couldn't do that. So
maybe not that technique, but something similar.
So is it a good feeling? What's it like when you score a free kick?
It's the best because I think you've practiced a lot as well. So I think you're like, OK, it's actually come off.
So that is number 2.
I've never scored against Barca, so...
I mean, it's nice, right.
Yeah.
Let's see the 4th goal. We've got 2, 3 and 4. We've got Barcelona 2nd. Oh, here we go. I'll stop and we just watch this.
Left foot.
You see,
the only thing I'm thinking of, what is the goal that's going to come in?
I'm left foot. Look,
left foot. First time.
I think I'm gonna go 5 for that, even though it's a left foot.
Why do you think there's a different goal?
I think there's a different goal.
What, like Real Madrid away or something?
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
Right, let's see the fifth goal. That was number 5.
That's 5, yeah.
OK, the last goal. This is your number 1 of default. Treble season.
Yeah, it has to be this one.
Bang, get in.
Oh, you guys
We've
played
actually done well there. I'm actually buzzing, yes,
I'm
Shaun.
buzzing on that.
Absolute blinder.
It had to be that goal. I was like, there's no way in a Champions League Kevin De Bruyne goal short. There's no Real Madrid away.
It's a beautiful strike. Look,
Treble season as well.
Go on, just leave it there for me, thanks.
That is just unbelievable.
The power, you can't even, keeper can't get down there.
And Courtois is a top quality keeper.
Yeah.
And he's got no chance. He's got no chance.
The Bernabeu, like, just to then win the treble after that, yeah.
I think you've done
very,
very well there. You happy? Very happy?
We were a good team there, to be fair.
That goal is something special. Right, now, you might have missed it at the beginning of the show, but we have a Kevin De Bruyne tribute. It's emotional, you know. You said when we was watching it, it gave you goosebumps, but you've got a chance to see that once again.
When I came into City, I hoped to stay here for a long time.
It's a new chance to be better as a player and to win some titles with a team who has a lot of quality players.
It's going to be a debut for Kevin De Bruyne, their record signing.
Everybody knows that I'm new in the team and that I will need some time to adapt.
I never expected me to be here for 10 years. I wouldn't change it.
De Bruyne! Excellent finish from the Manchester City man for his first Premier League goal.
De Bruyne.
It's still De Bruyne!
Kevin De Bruyne! That's a smashing goal! His left foot, De Bruyne! Oh, what a goal!
I would say I'm still a kind of old school football guy. I play on creativity, on passion.
He sees things that other players don't see, but especially he tries things that other players wouldn't dare to try.
Feasting off the beautiful service of Kevin De Bruyne.
I don't even need to see the ball because I know exactly where the ball's going to come.
This is what you see time and time again from Kevin De Bruyne.
When you come to passing, no one comes near him.
He's one of those players that every single football supporter would want him in their team.
During how many years and how many games, that makes him unique.
The Manchester City fans sing his name, and this is the reason why. Kevin De Bruyne! Wolverhampton 1, Kevin De Bruyne 4.
I helped my team achieve things that never been done before, especially not in the Premier League.
100! Records broken and broken again. In goes De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne! Good the one! Absolutely extraordinary! De Bruyne looking to shoot. Oh, he scored!
The king is back. That's what it is. He's been the best player in the Premier League since it's signed for Manchester City.
For me, he's the best player in the history of the club, so the only thing that we can say to him is thank you and wish him all the best.
Kevin De Bruyne is going to go down as an all-time great.
We did it, guys. No, we haven't.
I've come here. I've got 3 kids now, all born in Manchester. It's my home.
The impact of some players transcend even what you have done on the pitch. He's part of the family of this club. There's no doubt he's one of the greatest, for sure.
Now, earlier on today, the under-19s got their UEFA Youth League campaign started. Right, and now how it works is the first 6 games mirror the Champions League, so they kicked off against Napoli. Here's one for you. City won 2-0. The goal scorers, a 16-year-old Floyd Samba, son of Chris, and a goal from Regan Hesty, son of Emil. Good football in genes, right?
Yes, yes. It's some talent. It's talent, you know, coming through the club. This is brilliant. You know, I've certainly haven't been around the club a couple of years ago, seeing these boys come through. It's nice to see that they're progressing and still scoring and doing well.
To be able to play at academy level against teams in the Champions League, how big do you think that is for them?
It's a massive experience. I think sometimes when you're at academy level, you probably play the same teams over and over again. You've probably grown up with them players. So to go away we obviously played at home today, but obviously to go and experience travelling away and playing under different crowds and different situations, I think it's good for young players to do that. And I think that's all part and parcel of a footballer's journey. And these lads get to do it at the under 19 level, playing in the Champions League. It's absolutely amazing, and hopefully it gives them the incentive to keep kicking on to try and get into the first team.
Right, they played Napoli, they're going to go to Real Madrid. These are very cool games playing, but let's hear the post-match thoughts of Floyd Samba now.
Floyd, congratulations. First of all, your debut.
Yeah.
Talk us through how you're feeling right now.
Very happy, obviously. I always want to get a goal and everything, but I didn't expect it in this game. But yeah, I always believe in myself, and I'm very happy that I scored today as well.
Can you tell us about when you found out you'd be starting, what that moment was like for you?
Yeah, we kind of knew on Tuesday in training, so I was starting in that position, going through tactics and everything for the game. So yeah, once it gradually got closer to the game, I was feeling more confident at starting, and when I knew, I was buzzing, obviously. Yeah.
For the under-18s, we've seen you play more as a 10, but today you were more in that 8 role.
Yeah.
Why do you think Ben trusted you to play there?
Obviously, I've played like under Ben for quite a lot of times. Like last season, I was with them for pre-season a bit. This season, I was as well. So like he knows what I'm capable of, and obviously I try to do my best to play as good as I can under Ben, so I can push higher to the next level. So yeah.
And talk us through your goal. What a strike. How did you know to hit it in that moment?
Obviously, we were working in training, and I knew once Ryan got the ball, Dante was running, I knew the gap opened, and then once the gap opened, I knew that was the time to turn, take my touch inside and then shoot, and then it was a brilliant goal, so happy, yeah.
And it was your first start in the competition as well. Can you explain to us what the difference is between European football and academy football?
It's a big jump, yeah. I didn't expect it so much to be such a big jump, obviously. 18s, it's very different, but yeah, it's a lot harder. Speed is faster, everything's faster, so yeah, have to adapt to it and give better performances, so yeah.
And how important do you feel it was today to get a win in our first game and carry that momentum now for the rest of the competition?
Very important. Obviously, last season it was a 4-2 here, I believe, against Inter Milan, so it's better, it's progress this season. It's a good start, and it'll give us very good momentum against Monaco next game.
And look into next week, we assume you'll kind of head back to the under-18s, and it's the small matter of a Manchester derby.
Yeah.
How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, very excited. I've played a lot against United. I've had good performances against them as well. I've scored quite a few. So yeah, I'm excited and hopefully get a very good result against them.
Well, Floyd, congratulations again on your performance and the best of luck next week.
Thank you.
There we go, a 2-0 win, the perfect start. Now, from the Joy Stadium to the Etihad Stadium, pitchside, here is Ali Mann, and here's with James Horncastle.
Yeah, welcome back to pitchside. Now, I use this word genuinely because I mean it. This guy, he outstats me. And that, I can't say that about many people over the years. He knows everything there is to know about Italian football. I'm married to an Italian. I've got Italians all over the place in my family, but they don't know as much as him, which is frightening,
I'm not sure
really.
about that.
Anyway, James Horncastle I'm talking to, who over the years, I have to say, I've loved listening to you on TNT, BT, etc., etc. It's really nice to meet you face to face. First question has to be, is this Napoli team good enough to just retain the title, or are they in danger of doing what they did the last time they won the title?
I don't think Conte will allow that. I think when they last won the title, their coach walked out, Luciano Spalletti. He fell out with the owner, Aurelio De Laurentiis.
Easy thing to do.
Yeah, and I think some people anticipated that Antonio would do the same and walk in the summer, particularly when his old club, Juventus, that job was available. Instead, he's stuck around, and yeah, I think this could be quite incredible, really, because even with Diego Maradona, Napoli never retained the title. They did win it twice, in 1987 and 1990, but I think for the first time, they have a real legitimate chance to go back-to-back.
OK, and what tells you that? What makes you, I mean, obviously De Bruyne is an addition, but what tells you that they can back it up?
2 words, Antonio Conte, because I think Antonio is as close to guaranteed success in world football, apart from maybe Pep Guardiola, his opposition tonight. But they've really backed him, not only in signing Kevin. They spent a lot of money in the summer. I think it's going to be really interesting tonight to look at the goalkeeper position for both teams. But Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, who they signed, Vanja is playing tonight because Vanja is very, very good with his feet. You know, he will be able to play through City's press, help Napoli breathe a little when they come under pressure. So I think that's already a quite interesting choice that Conte's made.
Yeah, I mean, the Napoli team of a couple of years ago, with the likes of Kvaratskhelia and a striker who scored loads of goals, they needed something different. Apart from, obviously, the coach, what has he instilled into the players? What are they doing differently?
Well, that's a great question, because this Napoli team does not play like any Conte team that you'll have seen here in the Premier League. We all associate him with 3-5-2 from Juventus, from Chelsea, from Tottenham. Napoli won't play that way tonight. They haven't played that way for the best part of a year. Conte has always looked at his players. He had Kvaratskhelia, you mentioned, last year. Fantastic wing player. Where does he fit in a 3-5-2? He doesn't. The same with Kevin De Bruyne. I think when Napoli won the league last year, the strength was the three midfield players. Anguissa used to play for Fulham. Silk and steel Anguissa. You know, very strong, but can wriggle free, pick out a pass. Lobotka at the centre of that midfield, diminutive, loves to play in traffic. An Iniesta-style player. And then McTominay, who, when Kvaratskhelia left, he was the source of goals, making those deep runs into the box and finishing off moves. So Conte's been able to create something different and make his teams less predictable than perhaps they were in the past.
Interesting. Obviously, we'll mention Kevin a little bit, because I'm curious to know, would it have been Conte who went and said, I'd like Kevin De Bruyne, or would the opportunity have presented itself and they would have said to at the board level, do you want Kevin De Bruyne? Which way does it work at that club? So,
they have their sporting director, Giovanni Manna, who used to be at Juventus, knows Conte very well. But Conte is he knows what he wants. And I think that's why some of the players who've come from Manchester, not only to Naples, but when he was at Inter, they've done really well, because he's been able to see something that their coaches in Manchester didn't see in those players, carve out more bespoke roles for them, and they've excelled. And so I think there's two things going on there. I think he relished the opportunity to work with De Bruyne. I also think Napoli tried to get that deal done as quickly as possible to say, Antonio, you shouldn't be leaving. We're signing a player like Kevin De Bruyne, and it worked both ways.
Interesting. I could talk for you all night. There's a couple of more things I want to ask you specifically. One is, they'll know the strength of Manchester City. Are they going to play differently because they're at a place like this and against a team who like to hold on to the ball so much?
Look, I think there'll be many games within tonight's game. I think there'll be moments when Napoli have to know how to suffer. That's a classic Italian saying. It's a quality of all the best teams. When the pressure is on, know how to defend. But also, Conte's teams always love to play through pressure. You know, they almost invite it onto them. And then he, on the training ground, works on specific patterns to play through it. But there'll be moments tonight where they'll try and keep the ball high up the pitch, away from their own goal. And I think the makeup of this team, as I said, Lobotka, Anguissa, both players really good at keeping the ball. Kevin, very good at that as well. They do have the personnel to be able to play a possession game which isn't just 40-60 in their opponent's favour. So I think we'll see lots of different shades to Napoli tonight.
And will one of those I mean, people watch Manchester City on a regular basis like myself, and we always fear teams on the counter. Are they a good transitional team?
I mean, Conte is magnificent at preparing for those situations and making sure his players know what to do in those scenarios. So they are very good. They've got the wide players as well, like Spinazzola, who's playing tonight. He was excellent when Italy won the Euros 4 years ago at being that out ball and playing very high. So, you know, they are a very good transition team.
Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The last question we always ask, a prediction. What do you think? Are we thinking draw? Are you going on the fence?
No, Napoli 3-1.
Oh, wow, okay. This guy knows. Hopefully he doesn't know that. We'll see. That's James Horncastle. Back to you in the studio.
Right, I have got an insane stat for you guys. Obviously, we were all so excited when Gianluigi Donnarumma penned paper and became a Manchester City player. But do you know he is the first Italian player that Pep has ever managed?
Really?
Wow, didn't know that.
There's a knock at the door. Let that sink in. Right,
Wow.
Yes.
to celebrate that, we are going to play a little game, a classic game, you know, 2 games in one show. Don't say I don't treat you. Higher or lower. So I'm going to wheel off. We've got some nationalities, and then you're going to guess higher or lower as if Pep has managed them. So Barca, Bayern, City. Bring up a nation, higher or lower, and we'll go through.
Right, okay.
Okay, I've not seen this. I tried to do a little bit of working out, but
Okay.
let's have a look. So we'll start off, and that is Brazil with 18, is it? 18. So next up, France, higher or lower than 18? I was quite surprised at 18. I think that's high. I didn't realise it was that many.
So we're guessing that France will be
higher or lower.
How many players he's managed for all them clubs?
French players.
French, yeah. I'd say lower.
I'd say lower.
Lower? I'm trying to think. I can only think.
Lower, yeah.
Lower?
We're going lower.
Yeah,
lower.
Lock it in. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, Spain.
Higher, come on.
Yeah.
So no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Higher.
Do you think Spain might be the highest?
I think so, just because
Yeah.
Barca, the players that they want to get through are Spanish players.
48.
Yeah.
Okay,
that'll be
that'll be
the
tough to beat.
highest.
Okay, Portugal up next. Higher or lower? I mean, going by your logic, Steph, I know where this is going to go.
Yeah, lower.
Lower.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see it. 4.
Oh.
Only 4?
Yeah, but this. Okay.
That's all at City then, right?
Right, Bernardo, Ruben.
Nunez and Cancelo.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, crazy.
Really?
I thought I thought there was... Ooh.
Okay, right.
Well, that's
Norway.
Norway, yeah.
Yep.
Bob Haaland.
I'm thinking
Maybe lower.
I'm thinking lower.
Ooh, lower?
We locking in lower?
Yeah, lower, yeah.
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Let's have a look. 2. Hey, you wheeled them off as well.
Yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, England.
Higher.
Higher.
I think... Right, before I say anything,
about
I'm going to...
15 or 16.
No, more than that, surely. Do you 15, 16, Shaun?
England players, yeah, I would say 13, 12.
I think more. I think a lot more. I think maybe 30, 31.
Whoa.
Let's have a look. Oh, it was close.
Oh, he's had a look at the cheat sheet.
No. But what I was, my rationale is
Go on, then.
Pep has been at City for a long time.
Yes.
We know the players off the top of your head, you'll know, but then there's also, he's given a lot of debuts.
Oh, right, OK, so
that's what
academy
I'm
players.
thinking.
All right, then,
yes.
yeah, fair play.
You're not loving that. You're not loving that.
Yes.
OK, next up,
This is
Germany.
why you sat there, you see.
Lower.
Yeah.
Lower.
Gundogan, Sané.
Here we go. Ooh.
I suppose Thomas Muller.
That Bayern team, I guess, debuts again. I like that. OK, Argentina.
I think
it's
lower than
lower.
that.
Yeah, I think it's lower. Maybe
Messi stands out, but
maybe
yeah.
20-something.
Aguero, Alvarez.
Yeah.
11.
Wow.
11, yeah. A lot lower.
I mean, I don't envy whoever had to go on to and have a look, check all these, because these are a lot of players they're going through. So fair play to you if you were the one researching, got a lot of time for you. OK, Italy.
Well, you just told us that, no? 1?
Maybe it was a trick question.
Yeah,
No, OK, 1. Let's see it. Spot on.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. Steph, I appreciate you for listening.
Yeah, I did listen.
Good listener.
OK, Belgium up next.
Higher.
Yeah. Higher.
Company, De Bruyne, Doku.
Yeah, that's 3 there, yeah.
And then finally, Austria.
Austria.
I'm thinking, I've got one in my head, David Alaba from Bayern.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm struggling to think where else.
There's no Austrians played for City, no?
I don't think so.
No.
So
can we phone a friend?
50-50,
You're all out
I think it's
phone
lower.
calls.
We're going lower. Locking in lower.
I think the 1. 4. Ooh, that's
completed, mate.
That has surprised me, but I like that a lot. Right. Now, Donnarumma isn't the only Italian here in Manchester. We caught up with our friends at Ad Maiora ahead of this game, and in particular, Alessandro, who lives in Manchester, but is a Napoli fan. So, let's head over for a view of Naples. All right,
he's sort of my hero. I used to play football a lot, I still do sometimes, and I kind of want to think that I'm like him. For me, football is passion, signore. You bring a community together, everybody's watching it, everybody's having fun, and it's the beauty of supporting your own country or your own team. And it's community. Community is everything. My love from Napoli comes from my family. I'm not from Napoli, I'm from Padova, which is north of Italy, but my grandparents and all my family members always supported Napoli, so I kind of got intertwined into that, so it's family for me, for Napoli. I loved watching Insigne. It's just his style, his technique, his scoring. Insigne for me was a perfect player.
And I'm going to put you on the spot now. I want you to name your all-time Napoli five-a-side.
I think I'm going to start with Insigne. He's sort of my hero. I used to play football a lot, I still do sometimes, and I kind of want to think that I'm like him, but I'm not that good yet. So Insigne in the center. I'd have Koulibaly in defense, just solid player, solid defense, is a wall. I think keeper, maybe Reina or maybe Dino Zoff. He's before my time, but one of the best keepers ever. In the strikers, Cavani for sure. Excellent player, all-rounder. And last but not least, it's got to be Maradona. Just best player ever, signore. Maradona is almost an icon in Napoli, signore.
And if you're going to pick a manager?
Conte. Antonio Conte. He's been managing Napoli this last year so well. We won the Scudetto with him. We're going to win the next one and the one after with him as well.
And we could see a Champions League debut for City for Gianluigi Donnarumma.
Donnarumma, again, professional. He's one of the best keepers in the world at the moment. If anything, one of the best keepers of all time. And I think Donnarumma is going to do great, but he's going to let some through from potentially De Bruyne, potentially McTominay. We'll have to see. I think Kevin is definitely going to be a little bit nervous, just because any footballer would be, but he's a professional. He's going to play excellent for Napoli. I think Napoli is going to win, but that's just because I love Napoli, signore.
That would be a very long day running into them on a Tuesday night at five-a-side, right? Right, we'll go back to the Champions League, but we can't not talk about Bunny Shaw. Our striker has been nominated for the 2024-25 CONCACAF Women's Player of the Year. Steph, where do we start?
I actually don't know with Bunny, to be honest, because I think, for me, like, she is one of the best strikers in the world. If not, I think even this goal here, like, even to think about even trying to dive and head of that, there's not many strikers would do that in this league, but she really deserved that goal because the all-round play was great. But I think for us at Manchester City, I think without a doubt she's the hardest player to mark, and training against her was always so tough, and that's what I mean when you're playing against them types of players. You can mark them, but it's so hard to stop. But in terms of in that box, she's so lethal, isn't she, Shaun?
Yeah, she is, and I agree with you. I think she's world class. I think she's so difficult to play against, and I enjoy watching her. You know, watching her in her last game, she didn't get many chances, but she scores. And that header, I'm thinking, like, it's a superwoman. She's like flying. I mean, it's a great header. She finished it. She didn't get a lot of chances, but she still managed to get on the score sheet. This is what Bunny Shaw is, and you know, well done to her, because I will continue to speak of her in this way, because having worked closely with her, knowing what she's capable of, she's a phenomenal player.
Shaun, you obviously spent a lot of time with her on the training pitch. What sort of things did you work on, develop, talk to her about in them moments?
I think it was just enhancing her strengths and her qualities, because yes, you can improve someone's weakness, but I think it's more about whatever their strength is making sure that strength delivers on the day. So whether that's her hold-up play, whether that's her finishing around the box, it's all these parts that make her the player she is, but it's making sure that those are as close to perfection, as opposed to let's improve your left foot striking outside the box. Yes, you may score one goal or two goals throughout the season with your left foot outside the box, but more times than not, the other parts of your game is where we want you to deliver. So when it comes, i.e. that goal we just saw, her finishing with her head. It's making sure that if that's an area, it's like making sure that she's clean on that and the contact and all that sort of stuff. So it's just making sure she's keeping her qualities high and right at the right level. So she's a joy to watch and joy to work with because, again, she always wants to get better. She wants to keep pushing the bar in terms of the levels. So well done to her.
Steph, what's she like in the dressing room? Because what blew my mind almost, I worked with her a few weeks ago and we was talking and she thought she'd had a poor season. She was top goal scorer and played a fraction of the goals. And she's like, oh, it was a bad season for me. And I was like, what? Like, how? In what world? And it's like, how high are her standards for herself?
Yeah, I think that they're extremely high, and rightly so, because I don't even think she's reached the full potential. I think what Shaun did, obviously, when Shaun was there working with Bunny, you could see there was improvements every single day. And as a teammate in the dressing room, she's always loud. It always has to be Bunny and her way, but that's what she is, and that's what she brings, is that energy and that vibe. And whether it's music, whether she's dancing in the gym, but I think when it comes to football, she prides herself on her performance, and it's scary to think that she shared the Golden Boot last season when she only played half a season, but I think that's what she did. She scored goals, she's prolific, and she caused defenders like a real problem. And I think now, obviously, under the new manager, she's going to be pivotal the way that we play her as a club. And I think if the same as what we were saying about Haaland, if you keep providing her chances, she's going to score them. So I think in terms of like that pressure and that kind of ability to run in behind defenders, to be strong enough to hold defenders off, she's got every little bit that you need as a top striker. And I'm so excited to see her fully fit and to be able to kind of really hit the ground running and I think do big things hopefully for Manchester City this season.
Viv Miedema said at the beginning of the season that her, Lauren Hemp and Bunny all only played 3 games together, or something like a fraction of games together last season, all fit. What can that trio, I'm going to say partnership, I know it's not, I know the words are partnership, that combination, what can we expect from that almost?
Hopefully a lot of goals and a lot of assists by all 3 of them, contributing a lot to the goals that City want to have this season. And I think Hempo, of course, when you look back last season, you see the likes of Bunny was out for a while, Lauren Hemp was out half the season, Alex Greenwood, and them types of players, Viv towards the end of the season, them types of players, when you take them out of a team, no matter whether it's Manchester City or another one, they're big misses because, for one, they're very experienced at this level, but also the quality is second to none. And when you speak about them players, Lauren Hemp provides a lot of assists, probably should score a little bit more goals, and that's given her the confidence to do that. But you're talking about Viv, who's WSL top goal scorer, you're talking about Bunny, that's potentially going to be the next WSL top goal scorer. So when you have them players that have got an eye for goal, I think it is so important that they connect, they stay fit and push each other.
Bunny is already Man City top goal scorer. She's closing in on 100 goals. Do you think about legacy and like how important are the numbers as a striker?
I think some strikers are different, but I think the numbers are important that you know. It's not something you just go around and you're always talking about, but I think...
You were always talking about in the corridor, you and Bunny. I scored this many, you scored this many.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to score a couple again today. Yeah, numbers are important because certainly she has that temperament. Bunny has that temperament where it's like, okay, I had a season last season with injuries to score 12. If I can stay injury-free, when I was injury-free, what did I score? Can I get to those numbers? That'll be something that she'll be thinking about personally, and she's very capable of it because the biggest compliment I can give Bunny is that she recognizes the scenario when she's in front of goal. When the ball's bouncing, when it's rolling, she recognizes what the right decision, and that is so key as a striker. If the ball is rolling and the goalkeeper's leaving space on this side, she recognizes I've got to put it there. If it's too much on this side, she recognizes it's got to go across. This is one of her greatest strengths, is why I'd say she's a world-class striker.
I mean, I could talk about Bunny all day long. Best luck to her in the CONCACAF Women's Player of the Year. But we're going to go pitch side at the Etihad with Ali Mann and Paul Bosvelt.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome back to pitch side, and yet another former Manchester City player alongside me. He was with us about a couple of years, 2003, 2005, and he was a midfielder. Of course, it's Paul Bosvelt. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I've got to ask you, I can't see a connection between yourself and Napoli. So why this game? Why tonight?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine. His son made the transfer from Bologna to Napoli, so that's why we are here to watch him also and come back to City.
And who is the player?
Sam Berkema.
Okay, tell us a little bit about him.
He was in the academy of Go Ahead Eagles and finally made the transfer to AZ Alkmaar, then to Bologna. Yeah, had a good period there, and now made the step to the champion of Italy. So very good step for him.
And he scored already a goal, I noticed, although he's not noted for his scoring.
Yeah, he had to be patient because first games he didn't play. Now he played, was first 11, and he scored the third goal, which for him is a brilliant start.
Now, you mentioned Go Ahead Eagles. You've had a long association with them. Tell us about what your role was. I know you're not in it anymore, but tell us about your role there, because they're now in Europe.
Yeah, second time. Last year we played against Bruyne, and now we won the cup, so we're directly in Europe. I was technical director for more than 7 years, and now I did a step back. Want to have some more free time for myself, but still as scout I'm working.
And it must be one of the best times in the history of the club at the moment, surely.
Yeah, Europe for us is not common, so yeah, for us every game is a journey.
Tell us about your time at City. What kind of Manchester City was it for you?
Yeah, for me, after 15 years, Holland was a really good adventure, and yeah, I think the Premier League is the best league in the world. So it was really exciting to play there, even if I was at that time already 33. So not the best timing, but at the end, I really enjoyed it.
And what was it about the club that you enjoyed so much?
It's just the people, the commitment, everybody around the club was yeah, really focused on City and really helpful anyway. So and the club was just on the highest level, so it was for everybody was exciting.
Do you still follow Manchester City from afar and watch their progress?
Yeah, of course. You every club you played for, you still follow, and of course from a distance it's harder, but these days it's easy to follow everything. So I know they were struggling a bit, and also this season it's a little bit up and down, but I hope they will get back where they belong. But it's hard to stay on the top for a long period. Everybody wants to beat you, and the competition is very hard in England.
Well, I can't have a midfielder as good as you alongside me and not ask about the man that everyone's talking about, Kevin De Bruyne. Where do you place him in the great list of midfielders over the years?
Yeah, I think he's incredible. He had an incredible time over here, and it's no coincidence that this draw is finally here. So it's good he's back, and I think it's a big legend for the club.
And do you think someone like him can have an influence over Sam Bakima as well?
Yeah, they speak the same language, so I think they can help each other out, because it's for both it's new, and he's more experienced, so he can help him.
Well, you're a former Manchester City player. You know one of the players in the Napoli camp. That means you can give us an objective view of how you feel this might go this evening.
No, it will be close, because both teams have a lot of quality, and I know the two Dutch guys quite well. So I'm very excited to watch this game. I think it's an open game.
Well, thank you much for your time this evening. It's always a pleasure to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Bosvelt, back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, chaps. Right, before I get into the score predictions, I don't want any of that fence sitting we've just seen there. Right, an unchanged start 11, the first time since the 4th of January against West Ham. Is that a product of how good they were at the weekend, Steph?
Definitely. I think to get a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of consistency, and I think when you perform that well and you see the things that we've probably seen, what we've done over the last few years come to kind of fruition on Sunday, I think there's no reason to change the side. Everybody's been playing well, and I think for me, I think it is about consistency for us this season. Like, the fans expect and what's going to turn up, and hopefully the boys can do the job today.
Okay, Shaun, score prediction.
I'm a 2-0 City.
Goal scorers?
Goal scorers, Haaland. It would definitely... right.
I've got you. You can have both Haaland, that's fine. We can do that.
Haaland, both goals.
I like that, Steph. What about yourself?
I'm going to go 2-1. I think De Bruyne will score for Napoli.
Okay, as long as it's 2-0 and you get it, I'll give it a little clap.
Yeah,
but, you know,
2-1, yeah.
I can get behind that. Right. Thank you very much, guys. And we're going to head back over to Ali Man and Andy Morrison.
The UEFA Champions League will begin. King Kev is back at the Etihad.
Thank you, Liam. There are 21 other players who are going to be starting this game. I don't think anybody else in the stadium really cares at the moment. Every time his name's been mentioned, every time they've spotted him, the whole crowd has applauded Kevin De Bruyne. It's going to be a funny old night, all things considered. So it's the first night of a Champions League campaign, always a special evening. It is the beginning of the journey to the most prestigious club final in world football. The fact that it's the Italian champions who are visiting the Etihad Stadium increases the significance still further. But forget the fact that it's Napoli and all the other aspects that I've earlier mentioned. They're all just incidental subplots, as there really is only one story tonight. You know who is back, and the sight of King Kev in the away lineup is quite simply bizarre. It feels odd to want him to be on the losing side. Perhaps the best scenario is he ends as a hat-trick hero as Napoli are beaten 4-3. Now that really would be a story. The players come out. The reality is that they're two teams with genuine aspirations of going all the way in this competition. But everywhere you look inside the Etihad Stadium are the flags and the banners and the T-shirts that all bore his name when he said farewell here at the Etihad Stadium in that victory against Bournemouth that allowed the Blues to qualify for the Champions League. There is nobody here, including himself and his family members, who can ignore the fact that for 10 years he was the star performer. And the UEFA Champions League anthem only adds to the atmosphere. The darkening skies over Manchester, the blue moon that rises above on the massive